Hey everyone, Eric on Paper. I'm Eric, and oh my god, it's almost been a year and I am a month behind on this update. My sincere apologies. It does mean a lot to me that you're looking forward to it. Bunch of life stuff came up that I will get to in a minute, but good to see you again. Hope you've been well. Okay, let's talk about cool things I filmed on Spider Man. Number one, actually, we've wrapped a couple principal characters, which I am very excited about and is a huge accomplishment for the movie. We wrapped Courtney as Mary Jane, and she did a fantastic job in the role. She and Bryn have an amazing chemistry together, and really comes across in the film. She is pretty fearless as an actress. She loves Spider-Man, and her reverence for the source material really shows in the character. Um, Bryn, you already know about him. Just kidding, Bren. But yeah, Mary Jane required a variety of locations, and obviously some of them are going to be green screen locations. Others, though, I wanted to push for more practical sets or real locations because this film's going to take a bit in post, and any longer, and my head would explode in terms of getting even more effects done. So we redressed a bedroom to make it look like a boutique hotel in Los Angeles. We also, I want to give a shout out to a good friend of mine, Dan Higney. His house doubled as Mary Jane's New York apartment. Of course, we had to do some visual effects to enhance it, and I was insistent from day one on getting that shot that was reminiscent of the J. Scott Campbell cover because, hey, why not? Um, Then we also went down to downtown, close to where I live, and was able to get some, oddly enough, with some enhancement, New York and Los Angeles streets because, why not? And when you're a low budget filmmaker, but one who also does their own visual effects, you can plan out shots and shoots like these. You know exactly what you can get away with, and also where you want to be spending your time. Because on a film like this, I'm not making any money off of it. This is done for pure passion. So, in between other acting and other gigs I take on, I have to figure out how can I make it be the best product that I can make it. And some of that's figuring out how best to spend your time visual effect wise. The other actor that we wrapped was my friend Sarah Klein as Martha Connors, and she did an amazing job. We had been online friends for years. I met her in person at an actor networking event and had the right vibe, so we talked. And like Courtney, she brought a lot of thought into her character. One of the things is that I'm a big believer in actors meeting each other prior to a shoot. And even if it's just for like a little bit on Zoom, for example, getting familiar with their characters and playing around with the scenes, also just to see how people respond to direction. And she and Bill had a really good chemistry. Like, I think they had just met. I had rehearsed them over Zoom, but they had just met in person that day, the day that we were filming. A pretty dramatic argument scene slash emotional confrontation with them, and they were crying by the end of it. Each take, real tears. I look at Bill, I look at her, and I see like no glycerin, no like no visual effects needed. They were really feeling it, and I was I wish I could take credit for it as a director. Oh, hell, I'll take credit. I'm amazing. But in all seriousness, I wish I could take credit for that as a director. But the two of them worked well together. They had some suggestions like this feels better if I do this or say this or adjust this blocking, and you put your ego aside and realize that it's best for the project and best for the scene, and the two of them worked extremely well together. Actually, as a matter of fact, with the exception of a couple special visual effect shots that we need for Bill to transform and then some ADR lines, he's almost wrapped too. We are knocking actors out left and right, just saying, and you're wrapped, and you're wrapped, and you're wrapped. Mandy is coming up, as Black Cat is coming close to wrapping her last few scenes as well. The biggest shoot that we have left that requires a bit of an ensemble is the Aunt May set, which construction is almost completed. There was like some kind of structural problems with the place that we were going to use, and it's just been a lot of repair work and things like that. So that while that has been slowing things up, I've been doing editing and visual effects work. So thank you for sticking with me. If you like what you see and are interested in filmmaking or Spider-Man 4 in general, please hit like and subscribe. If you have no interest in this, I have no clue why you're watching the video. So as far as the life stuff goes, the delay, I'll keep it brief, but I had to shut down my old production company with my former business partner, had to take care of all the legal paperwork and deal with the state and things like that. And that took longer than I anticipated. It was like whack-a-mole. As soon as I filed something to be closed down, another thing would pop up, and honestly, it was mentally and emotionally draining. But I got through it like I get through everything else, and I'm excited to announce I started a new production company. So yes, in addition to finishing up Spider-Man 4, Zone 5 Films LLC will, or you can just call it Zone 5 Films, will be launching its new horror property really soon, filming it during downtime between Spider-Man shoots. It's called Disco Face. It's a 70s themed horror slasher comedy. I would encourage you to check that out. I'll post about it more, and Zone 5 is going to get its own YouTube channel, so I hope you follow that as well. And now, addressing your questions and comments. Blue Streak W3M says, "Thank you for continuing the project after all these years. Other people would have canceled it long ago." Well, you're welcome. I made a promise to all the fans and everyone watching that we're going to finish this movie. You have been waiting for a while, and I understand the frustration, and here's the thing. I'm not going to give up. I believe in keeping my word. I said I'm going to deliver the best Spider-Man 4 film I possibly could, so I'm going to do that. Production Herb 13 says, "How do you plan on nailing that Raimi vibe? And what are you trying to do that will stand out from the 3 films? Also really excited to see what you do with the Lizard. Is he going to have a big role?" How do I plan on nailing the Raimi vibe? Well, the thing is, with Sam Raimi, I grew up with his films, and not just Spider-Man. I grew up with Darkman first. And yeah, I was a kid, and I probably shouldn't have seen that movie as early as I did, but it's an awesome movie, and I'm relatively unaffected, I think. But then, later getting on and watching the Evil Dead series, and in Raimi's other film, he is a terrific director. I think what Raimi presents us is a hyper-real version of, it's like what we go to the movies for. It's like people act believable, but not necessarily realistically. They act in a way in his films that are very cathartic to the audience, a little more exaggerated, but it doesn't feel that way when you're watching it on screen. And I also think, Raimi knows exactly where to place the camera. But the thing is, it's beyond just the angle. It's, if you notice the lighting in his movies, it's always masterfully done, very, very eloquent. Even on The Evil Dead, when they were shooting with absolutely nothing, almost no budget in that cabin. It sounded like a hellish experience, but the lighting in those films too is really strong, really dynamic, and Raimi, to get that essence, he has energy, and that's what I want to capture in every bit of the movie. Will the Lizard have a big part in it? Yes, he is one of the principal antagonists. The practical props have been constructed that we are going to be using for close-ups and inserts and things like that. Now, Bryn is working on the digital version of the Lizard that's going to be used for stuff that with our limited budget, we just couldn't do practically. But it's looking amazing, and I think you're all really going to like how it turns out. Spidey Fan 2002 asks, it seems like Eric is leaning more towards the crazy side of Raimi than the director side. I ain't complaining. I don't know why you think I'm crazy. I just want to make a good Spider-Man movie. GraphicBot Studio 9823 says, I keep returning for the updates. Sorry to keep you waiting. Would love to see the behind the scenes or making of this movie from pre-production to post-production in documentary style. What challenges does one face while executing the idea? Because things do turn out much challenging and more unexpected than we imagined. Yes. As far as a making of documentary, oh boy, well, I'm not opposed to it. I think that it might be better if somebody else makes it because I've got my own biases and my own experiences. And I do think that an objective third party would be really good because, yeah, there have been a ton of unexpected stuff. And, there's a lot going on that sometimes Bryn says, hey, Eric, don't post about this or don't talk about that. So, yeah, there are certain things that, I'm not able to disclose. But, yeah, I think that it would be a really fascinating ride, probably better than the movie itself. I've been joking and semi-seriously thinking about writing a making of like book once this is all done. It's probably going to be 300 pages thick of me, giving information, trying to be helpful with filmmaking tips, ideas, and then ranting about certain events. So it would be a fascinating story. Monkey Creed says, a couple questions. Will you guys do the same opening title card as the first three Raimi films? How deadly will Vulture be? Will we see Harry's grave maybe? And most importantly, how is the cast and crew doing? Most importantly, cast and crew overall doing pretty good. We've all got our own struggles and turmoil here and there, but that's life. We get through it as best we can. Everyone's still really excited about the project, and I think that you're going to be happy with their work, and I'm proud of all of them. Will we see Harry's grave? Yes, yes, we will. There's a major emotional scene that takes place there with Peter and Mary Jane. How deadly will the Vulture be? Oh, very deadly. We have some pretty cool kills for him in the movie. He is probably deadlier than the MCU Vulture, just going by kill count alone. Will we do the same title card as the Raimi movie? Well, yeah, of course. We're doing the ultimate Raimi Spider-Man fan film in terms of effort and how long it took to make one. So we're going to honor everything that he did as best we can. Damian Wayne, K7E4T, says, what else are you planning when it comes to superhero movies? Well, I don't think I'm going to be doing another fan film for a while. I want to work on my own ideas and things like that, but they are definitely going to be superhero themed or comic book themed elements and things like that. I directed one movie called Dawn that isn't really a superhero film per se. It's based on Don Quixote. You can get the Blu-ray if you want. It's still on sale. But I think even with that, I like heroes. I like making movies about heroes and things of that nature. Do I have like a top 10 list of superhero movies I'd love to make? Absolutely. I'd love to make a really good Spawn movie. Batman Gotham by Gaslight, it would be ideal for me. I don't know if you want to count him as a superhero or not, but I'd love to do RoboCop at some point as well. Top Gamer NZ7SD asks, will there be an extended cut of this like they did with Spider-Man 2? I'm going to say probably not with this because, and it's going to be kind of a good thing. We don't have studio restrictions or anyone breathing down our necks saying, here's how you must make this movie to sell toys. What you're going to see will be the vision of everyone involved. I guess you could call it like the director's cut. Maybe that's how I'll market it. But I don't anticipate there being an extended cut. It's going to be a long film already. Ian Huff Studios 7602 asks, how good is the cinematography for Spider-Man 4? Also, how good are the villains going to look on screen, including the Vulture and the Lizard costume design-wise? Well, there's some footage of the Vulture that I'm happy to show off. He is a lot of fun to film. So I think that the design we are going for with the Vulture, you're keeping in that Power Ranger theme that people so often mocked with the Green Goblin. So that was our inspiration. We had joked on set that design, the design that we're going with the movie, was the sixth character who was evil but then converted to a good ranger. That's kind of the vibe we get. The lizard, still not allowed to show you yet. I fought, believe me, but he is going to look fantastic. Act shocked, but I am a big Godzilla fan, big kaiju fan, and not saying he's going to look like him necessarily, but I love reptilian creatures, so I am going to get him right. How good is the cinematography? Well, kind of depends on what scene you're looking at. I want it to be fantastic and phenomenal. After the falling out happened with the old partner who was the DP of the movie, I took over cinematography duties. And I do have background in it, even though I hadn't necessarily done that position like manually in a while. Bryn admitted he was a little hesitant to have me take on the role. So what we did was we just did some harmless test footage. Scenes that still needed to be shot, but just really simple stuff, and it meant to Bryn's satisfaction. And then I've just been lighting the scenes like crazy. Having that Raimi fearlessness, really just trying to capture the mood of everything. And Bryn will look over my shoulder as I'm lighting and framing, and he'll say, "Oh man, that's sick," or "Oh dude, that looks great." And later on, when I go to color grade the footage, I send it to him. Bryn sends me texts and messages that say, "This is low key too good for this movie," which I get what he's trying to say, but I would say I am trying my hardest, and I hope you enjoy it. D Epic Plays says, will Kingpin and the Lizard have big roles, or will they be side villains? I heard Bryn say that the Lizard's going to be one of the main villains of the film, but I just want to make sure because he's one of my favorite Spider-Man villains of all time and I want to see more of him. Also, are we going to get posters with the Lizard? Sorry if this was too long. No, nothing on this production is taking too long at all. Go right ahead. But Kingpin is a side villain, but pivotal to the plot of the movie. I would say that the whole script kind of revolves around his empire. Like, he's not just oh, we put Kingpin in a movie because we know a guy that looks like the Kingpin. It really does. But yeah, the Lizard is one of the main antagonists, and as I said, I'm going to be doing him justice. You're going to love it. Will there be a poster with the Lizard? Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, Mandy Huffman is an extraordinary graphic designer. She worked on like the Jedi Fallen Order games and things like that. So I'll see if I can get her to cook something up, meaning just saying, "Hey, in addition to being Black Cat, can you do more work for us? Thanks." Danielle Montero, 8200 asks, will this fan film take place directly after Spider-Man 3 and before Spider-Man No Way Home? If so, will this fan film have more relationship drama between Peter and MJ due to Black Cat being present? No, it doesn't take place immediately after. As I've said in past updates, we do have a villain montage at the beginning. So what that's going to do is like bridge the gap between when Spider-Man 3 ends and when our story takes place. Yeah, it takes place way before No Way Home. And with that, we had a lot of freedom because we know how things work out in No Way Home. So we're at an interesting point because we had started filming this and the project was written before we knew what was going to happen in No Way Home. I will say it doesn't contradict any events when you realize that there's quite a bit of gap between No Way Home and our movie. And yes, there is a lot of relationship drama. It's gonna be intense. Guillermo Reyes 9054 asks, This film has been in production for a long time. What have been the biggest challenges because of that? Okay, well, biggest challenges are everybody works a day job. Uh, and also, I'd say the biggest, it's like getting a D&D game together for those of you who've played. Do we want to do it? Yes. When? This day? I can't. I can't. No, not this day. This day. That's been the biggest kerfuffle beyond technical, um, certain technical things like, oh, this costume doesn't look ready in time, etc. For certain things. The biggest pet peeve I will say without naming names is when a shoot is scheduled, everyone's ready to go, and then on the day of getting a cancellation notice from like a principal performer that day saying, oh, sorry, I can't, turns out I can't make it. And it's not like you can really shoot around that person. So that has been the cause of a number of delays, and it's not been fun for those circumstances. Arise, Warrior 5, great name, says, are going to have news about the trailer and how far is the production so far? By the way, the movie's going to look fantastic. Keep it up. Well, thanks. News about the trailer? Well, we have shot a lot of the elements that Bryn and I feel we need for the trailer. I am working on visual effects that will appear in the trailer. Bryn feels, and I do agree, that the trailer is going to need more action. We don't want it to be one of those fan films just featuring close-ups of people giving significant glances at each other. So it's a matter of rendering out the action, and we have some fantastic animators who are doing some really cool web swings and things like that, really moving the camera around a digital New York. So those shots will be included as well. And thanks for thinking the movie looks fantastic. I'm going to keep working and working and hope that, it meets everyone's expectations. Noah Woodard 1 says, what's your camera rig look like for shooting this movie? I'd like to see it. Okay, well, Noah, I am shooting on a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 6K camera. Yes, I know the movie, actually we only have like 4K capability now for the most part, but I went with 6 because it's like future proofing. I don't know if they'll come out with a better thing, but also 6K helps with green screen elements. You have a lot more data to work with. The lighting equipment and other things like that I get, I got a lot from B&H Video. I highly recommend them. Great selection, knowledgeable people, very good service, and very fast shipping. I'll try to. Oh, also, not necessarily part of the rig. Bryn has a shoulder mount that I borrow and may try to steal from him one day. I shouldn't have confessed to that on camera. The lights I use, I have some lights from Great Video Maker. Not a creative name for the company, I grant you, but their LED lights are fantastic. I've been using them throughout the project, and very flexible, very versatile. They even have an app where you can do neat lighting effects with them. Zach Tyler 7565 asks, how many Spider-Man suits are there? One the fixed and one with damaged suit? Yes, there are two Spider-Man suits. We have our principal hero suit, which looks really good. I think that was the most expensive thing on the production. One suit is gonna be battle damaged, get scuffs and things like that. And then, actually, no, I think there's a third suit as well that has the like that doesn't have the mask, that just allows Bryn to walk around just with his face exposed. And what was interesting is like, he said, oh no, that's how they did in the Raimi movies too. It was separate. He would just have the prop, or not the prop, he would have the mask separate. And I thought, huh. I mean, Bryn is a cosplayer, and he educates me on these things. And I'm just like, oh wow, cool. I must seem like a total rube to him. Top Gamer NZ7D asks, will the final fight have a hostage situation like the previous 3 films? Not quite a hostage situation per se, but I will say that New York is under attack. There is a lot of turmoil. I'd say the entire city is in danger, so not really a hostage per se, more of like a city under siege. It's going to be intense. Raimi Fan 02 asks, Will there be a cover song of Nothing by The Script in the end credits? A lot of people headcanon this song in Spider-Man 4, music from an inspired by soundtrack. If you'd rather keep such a thing a surprise so as not to give it away, that's understandable. Yeah, I'm going to play this one close to the chest. I do want to be transparent with everyone, but I think you'll like what we have in mind. But thanks for the suggestion. It's pretty interesting to see what theories people have about what might have been. Jonathan Charles, 1825, asks, is this film going to be released on YouTube or Vimeo? Are we going to get a documentary about the making of? YouTube release. It's going to go up on the High Mountain Studios channel, and I was thinking of doing a director's commentary. And I'm not sure if it's going to be on my new Zone 5 Films channel, this one, or the High Mountain one, whatever gets me the most attention. And will there be a making of documentary? Well, these little production diaries kind of encapsulate some of my thoughts about that, about how the production's going. An official making of one, as I said earlier, I think, if some other filmmaker wanted to come in and do a third party type thing, because I think that in a documentary, it's best to be unbiased. And I know I come in with my notion of what happened. So if there is a making of documentary, it might be later. I don't know if I'm going to do anything from it, but if any documentarians out there are watching this and either think, hey, how did this amazing fan film happen? Or what the hell what happened to this fan film? How many years did it take you and you guys made this? Either way, it could be an entertaining story, so I'm always up for an interview. Bay's Popverse asks, what did you think of the Brand New Day trailer? I thought it looked really promising. I like that it features a scorpion. Uh, although I hope he gets a mask of some kind. No disrespect to the actor, but I always thought masks were cooler than, human faces. Uh, Story does seem intriguing. I like where it's going. And frankly, I do like Tom Holland, but I wasn't as big a fan of, the Stark assisted Spider Man. The Spider Man that I grew up loving from the comics and, say, from the 90s animated series was an inventor himself, really scrappy, really, and not well funded, and I think that was the appealing aspect for me. It's like, he would be working in his aunt's basement. It wasn't he wasn't connected to superheroes. I hope that's the aspect that they're bringing with this Spider-Man. The hand is in the film, and I think that looks pretty cool. There have been talks of, oh, they CGI'd out characters for the trailer, and I hope they did because I really want to be surprised. Guillermo Reyes 9054 asks, when do you expect to wrap up filming? As Brent said, we are really close. We are just coming around the like we're coming to the end. Um, I anticipate, and this is going to be scheduled throughout, uh, maybe about 10 or so days left of filming, and including pickups and insert shots and things like that. The Aunt May said we're going to need 3 days on, and that's going to be our last really big shoot, as I mentioned earlier. Then there's some quick. I mean, Kingpin only has 1 day of filming left. Same with Smythe and a couple other characters have really limited time left to film. I think even Brent as Peter Parker only has 5 days of filming left. It's pretty cool. So I'm really hoping by the end of this year. I know I said that a couple of years ago, but hey, I do my best to schedule with what I can. Once filming is wrapped, we're going to be intensely editing and in visual effects work on that. The editing, I'm a very good and very quick editor, so that shouldn't take that long, but visual effects, getting it to the Hollywood standard I want it to, will take a little while, but I'm going to be giving you guys updates all along the way, and yep, you're going to be getting trailers and fun stuff like that. Top Gamer NZ70 asks, does Tobey Maguire know about this? And if so, what does he think about it? I don't know if Toby knows. I do know that Sam Raimi knows legally he can't look at it. I understand, of course, but I mean, I do think it's cool that, I mean, because Sam Raimi is one of my artistic heroes, he knows that some guy out there in Seattle is like saying, hey, that thing that didn't happen for you, but this is, I want to make my version of it. And, you know, I hope one day he'll check it out. And okay, well, thank you very much for sticking with me with this update. I had a lot of fun making it. There was a lot, we got a lot done that I am very proud of. And I cannot wait for more filming days so I can show you more neat stuff. I can't wait for the trailer to come out. Uh, if you're interested in checking out my previous film that I directed, Dawn, it's out on Blu ray. Link in the description down below. And also, I hope that you follow me with Zone 5 Films as I embark on new projects as well. So keep telling your stories.